and welcome back. Today's video is going to be about solving equations involving radicals. So the main thing to do here, when you're solving equations, period, you want to be thinking about the inverse operation. So you always have to undo what's already been done. And the main thing here, when you have a radical, to get rid of a radical, you have to square it or use whatever the index is. In this case, the index is 2 for all of these radicals. So when I want to get rid of the radical, I'm going to have to square that expression to get rid of the radical. But either way, let's go ahead and jump in, and so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to rewrite my expression. Square root of the group 2c minus 1, all of that minus 5 equals 0. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and square everything. Well, actually, I'm going to add 5 to both sides first. So let's do that. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. That's going to give me the square root of 2c minus 1 equals positive 5. Now, we can go ahead and square both sides. And as a matter of fact, I'll rewrite it so you can see the whole step. So let's rewrite this part here. 2c minus 1 equals positive 5. Now we're going to show that we're squaring both sides. So on the on the left side, you're going to see the radical disappear. So now we're just left with 2c minus 1 equals, and 5 squared is 25. And now from here, this is just a regular basic linear equation that you can just go ahead and solve. We add 1 to both sides, right? That's going to give us 2c equals 26, and then divide both sides by 2, c equals 13. And we're done. Let's take a look at number 12. All right, so after we rewrite number 12, what we want to do here is go ahead and we're going to add the second radical to both sides. So we're going to add this radical to both sides. And now we're going to have the square root of 2y plus 3 equals 1 plus the square root of y plus 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show that we're squaring both sides. And really, I'll rewrite this again. And now, there we go, square both sides, square both sides. So we're going to have to perform FOIL on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we're just going to be left with 2y plus 3. Now, for the for the right-hand side, we have to, like I said, we have to perform FOIL. So that's going to be 1 squared plus 2 times 1 times the square root of 1 plus y plus the square root of 1 plus y, all of that squared. And when we continue to simplify, we have 2y plus 3 equals 1 plus 2 square root, 2y plus 1. 2y plus 1 plus y plus 1. Because the square root, when you square a square root, you just left with what's underneath the radical. Continuing to move on to simplify, we have 2y plus 3 equals y plus 2 plus 2 square root, y plus 1. And I made a mistake right here. This really should say y plus 1. And then that's going to say y plus 1. All right. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and start combining like terms. We're going to get our y's on the same side. So now when we subtract y from both sides, we're going to be left with y plus 3 equals 2 plus 2 square root y plus 1. Make sure that looks neater. Y plus 1. Now I'm going to drag this down. We're going to keep working. From here, we can go ahead and instead of subtracting 3 from both sides, let's subtract 2 from both sides. So that's going to make this y plus 1 equals 2 square root y plus 1. Now what we can do again is go ahead and square both sides. So by squaring both sides again, and this time I'm not going to rewrite it, I'm just going to go ahead and square both sides. Alright, this is going to become y squared plus 2y plus 1 equals 4 times y plus 1. And once we distribute, that's going to become y squared plus 2y. Oops. Y squared plus 2y plus 1 equals 4y plus 4. And now, once again, we're still doing all of this work. We want to go ahead and just move everything to the left-hand side so we have a quadratic equation. So it's going to be y squared. We subtract 4y from both sides. That's going to make negative 2y. We subtract 4 from both sides. That's going to make this negative 3. And that equals 0. Let's see if we can factor it. So if we do our factoring technique, we know that this is a, that's b, and c. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2, c is equal to negative 3. And if we do a times c, that equals 1 times negative 3, which equals negative 3. And when we factor, that's 1 times 3 and 1 times 3, because either the 1 can be negative or the 3 can be negative. When we add these, I have to add to see which one equals the b, and b in this case is negative 2. So these is going to give us positive 2. When I add these will make negative 2. So we have factors. We can factor it to say y plus 1 times y minus 3. Set each one of those equal to 0. Y plus 1 equals 0. Y minus 3 equals 0. Y is going to equal negative 1, and y is going to equal positive 3. And there are our two answers.